you are not in an island in Meadowlands. You are part of the 52 townships that were broken down into a geographical map because you are colonized. I'm listening to how happy you are in calling yourselves Sowetians, and you don't even know that you are insulting yourself. People from Orlando, they're proud to say they're from Orlando East, Orlando West. You ask them, awe mehanya, kane Orlando kilibitso letswa kae? La tabara, kintwa. It's a very basic question. Orlando Pirates, ezaka makepula ngenka. Umakepula okepula umhlaba. Ngoba uJeff sofa sonke panza uye umakepula wakepula umhlaba kamasipala on 1937. Ubani James sofa sonke mpanza bekabuya phi? How is it that you are speaking Sotho in Orlando and umpanza umzulu phaka from Natal? Why are you not having these conversations? Now, let's begin because of time. We don't have time. The first thing for some of you who are privileged to have a pen and paper, my talk is premised under two key words. First word, etymology. Etymology. E-T-Y-M-O-L-O-G-Y. The second key word is onomastics. Onomastics, these two words are synonyms for the origins of a word. So when somebody says Orlando, somebody says Meadowlands, somebody says Sophia Town, my interest is to give you the answer, the ontological, the epistemological, the onomastical premise of where does this word come from. That is my task here today. So, let's begin. I had asked the MC to play the song Meadowlands, Meadowlands. You were singing Meadowlands, Meadowlands. And a lot of you are doing what we do. We celebrate with no understanding of what we are celebrating. We say words with no understanding of what exactly is the origins. Why do you have, what does it mean to say Maburu? Utaukwa Maburu Ari Maburu asi akono ubuwa joangu rari Meadowlands. Asitsibela ka Sesotho sa Leboa. Asitsibela kai, bayinka kai ntweo. And we're very happy. This is not a problem. If anything, now you slot in the words. What language is this? Tsotsital, you say. All right. Tsotsital, is this a language? Yes, no? If you say yes, what language is it? Let's not steal her thunder.
Tsotsital, it was an official language because it's a township language. It's where the Tswanas, the Sotho, we understand each other with Tsotsital. From Africans as well.
So let us agree. There's something in education called social constructs. Because we find this in language. A lot of the things we know are socially constructed. They are not fact. So Afrikaans, as a case in point, we are told this is a language. But Afrikaans, if you break it down, it is a combination of a dialect of Roman Dutch and the languages that were spoken by the people in the Cape who couldn't communicate with their colonizers. So the key word there is dialect. It's a dialect. And most languages are dialects. Okay? So, that Seth and the rest of his generation, they stood up against Afrikaans. Not because as a dialect it was wrong. It was a beautiful thing that the slaves could communicate with their masters because they needed to communicate. But the problem is how this dialect was being applied to suppress one over the other. This is when it became problematic. But the language in itself is not a problem. It is how a language is used to colonize, to harm, to close out a certain people at the expense of others. So we move. So Soweto, one of the things, if you call a scholar, is that a scholar is able to tell you Uyinkaka in Twaibuana, which is a difference from someone wa MC Habua. Let's say my Meadowlands again. It's a meadow. And this meadow at Halosa, where the meadow it's in. Now, how come Memi is out of Mewinga and Twigua? She's going to have a problem. Because what is her source? So, if you call me now and I say the same thing, I must be able to tell you who in 12. It's a guy. So, I'll come to Meadowlands. But before Kikanago Meadowlands, I'll tell you Soweto. The sources for the record, which I am telling you these words that I am explaining as answers, they are from two key books. The first one is the Dictionary of Southern African Place Names. And it was written by Peter Raper, Lucy Muller, and L. Duplessis. These scholars, you name a word, they've got a definition. So I take it from their book. So I want to begin with Soweto. I'm holding the wrong book. An Afrikaans dictionary, because of the word Sophia Town. The current Sophia Town, many of you will know, is now called, what is Sophia Town called today? Triumph. So I had to find this word, and I'm going to give you the definition from the Woordeboek, written by M.S.B. Krinzinger. We'll come to that. And then, for many, many years, the librarian at the Johannesburg Library took out a book called Johannesburg Street Names. So any name in Jozi, she has an entry and she tells you what that street, so Kilifa, the sources are so that you can interrogate my sources. So I want to start with Soweto. And for some reason, my books are playing tricks on me. So let's, not just black people, coloreds, Indians, those people, the Chinese, it was part of the Forced Removals Act of 1955. And people didn't come to Meadowlands from Sophia Town out of context. Some went to Pimville, others went to Dube, Jualu. So our interest today in those who came to Meadowlands, right? So you must understand yourselves as not being special. You are part of the same people, it's just that you came to Meadowlands, but the others went to the other areas. According to this book, They give the coordinates of where Soweto is located. And then they say it's a complex of some 26 townships, including Diepkloof, Dube, Dobsonville, Kliptown, Meadowlands, Noordgesig, Mufulo, Orlando, etc. It was laid out on the farms Diepkloof, Doornkop, Kliprivier-oog, Klipspruit, and Vogel Straitsfontein, and administered by an urban council from 1968. The name is derived from the initial consonants of the designation Southwestern Townships. I hope next time someone asks you what is Soweto, you will remember what you've heard here today. Please come at to the last sentence, Southwestern Township. Let's jump in what I said in the beginning. It's a conglomeration of 26 townships. And here's what you should not have missed, because this is important. The name Soweto comes after those townships were already there. If we agree that Meadowlands, Dube, Diepkloof, as I've counted them here, they started 1955. Soweto is a name that only comes to us in 1968, which means the word comes after the townships were already there. It didn't come before. That's very important chronologically that you understand that. Okay, that's Soweto. I move to the oldest township in Soweto. I said earlier, I supported Klipspruit. So let's see under Klipspruit. According to the dictionary, Meadowlands, in the council minutes of 30 September 1938, page 1271, the name occurs in the form of Meadowlands Small Holdings and is described as adjoining Orlando Township. R.D. Hill of the City Engineers Department wrote an article on this area, which was published in the South African Survey Journal in December 1956, page 594, in which he mentions that these agricultural holdings were laid out in 1924. So stop lying to yourselves that Meadowlands starts in 1955. It's not true. You come here in 1955, but this place was already laid out in 1924. The assumption is that the name is descriptive for meadow. So our MC, right? Meadow. Unfortunately, if you ask the Wika guy, I can't even know. By definition, it's a piece of grassland or low, well-watered ground, and land is much used in South Africa for open ground. In 1968, it is a Bantu township controlled by government. So even when you came in 1955, government would only take over it in 1968. Mr. Hill, in his article titled Some Notes on the Layout of Meadowlands Native Township, tells the following story. An interesting sidelight on the history of the area is a rumor that during the Anglo-Boer War, a British party carrying a large amount of gold was surprised by the Boers while crossing the area with ox wagon, and that the gold was hurriedly buried on the spot. So here, underneath your soil, you might shock yourselves. And so it is said, there's a small joke amongst the Boers that whenever we go to Meadowlands, we randomly just want to start digging somewhere. We're not sure, we might be lucky. It's a small joke that they have. Imagine, on your area, so, hey, so that's Meadowlands. Now, because I've predominantly went into these books, I now want to quickly go to my notes, because this is me now talking. If you say you are celebrating 71 years of existence, you need to back it up with facts. When do your dates start? Who informs your dates? And whatever you are using as a source, you need to then argue that we use this source because of the following. Because we might have a problem with your 71. That's number one. Number two, I've already talked to Sophia Town. I've told you on the Triumph that that's Sophia, which is a white woman, so that's Sophia's town. And then I've said something about Meadowlands, but let me now proceed on Meadowlands. The song Meadowlands, Meadowlands that you sing, that has Tsotsital, also has other dialects. It's got Zulu, it's got Sesotho, and it's got Afrikaans, right? As a Tsotsital. Who sang this song? In fact, who's the composer? Kimama Motilpina Ea Meadowlands, Elirata Hakan, Ea. Once again, give us a microphone in front. You will call. How many of you know this woman? You walk amongst each other with the greatest of ignorance. Her father, Mr. Strike Villagas, he was a composer, he was a producer, he is one of the pioneers of Mbaqanga. But because you don't know your history. Ntate Strike writes the song on piano, is Todd Machigiza, the author of King Kong and Ipintombi. There's a big fight about Ipintombi. The point is, the people who sang the original song, Kibo Mang, before Miriam Makeba, before Dorothy Masuku, before all these other people started singing it, who are the first women to sing this song written by Ntate Strike? Anybody? How? I've just said before Miriam Makeba, before Dorothy Masuku. All those, they come after the fact. Do you see? You must respect your elders in Meadowlands, because it's you who must uphold your history of Meadowlands. And you must listen to these words, because you need to go find these, just like she's here as the daughter. Go and find the kids of the ladies that sang this song for the first time and made it popular. It was Mrs. Nancy Jacobs and her sisters. Nancy Jacobs. Why is it Miriam Makeba, Dorothy Masuku, who don't come from Meadowlands. So please, ke homework ya luna, Nancy Jacobs and her sisters. Nekitoli Daniela, the original version, DJ are sorry, sorry, the original version, so I proceed on my notes. This song was used as an anti-apartheid anthem against the forced removals. Now, if we listen to the lyrics are not that deep. They're very simple. On Salpola Iso, too much movement is happening. I don't do it because I'm bored, and I don't do it because I'm the president of the Gauteng Oral History Chapter. I do it because our people, the information is wearing high feet to go. And as a result, a lot of wrong things, wrong decisions, wrong conversations are continuing. Because people don't know who it's wakai, it's very dangerous. So, by affiliation, I'm a postdoctoral fellow COUNISA in the Department of Educational Foundations. When I do this kind of work, it is my giving back to the community, because you are never going to register to get a lecturer like me to lecture you and tell you these things. So that's why then I have to come from the university and come to the community and do my community service. With those words, I thank you.